Sit down on the mic. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes, sir. Me wanna sit down on the mic. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes, sir. Say me wanna sit down on the mic. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes, sir. Sit down on the mic. Sit down on the mic. Oh, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
The way you touch me, nobody got it, no. The thing that you give me, nobody have it, no.
Adolescent Girls' Voices Poetry and Storytelling Competition. This has been hosted by FAO, Public Health Ambassadors Uganda, and we are very pleased to have you here with us today. I am Namale Alice Grace. I'm going to be the moderator for this show, and with me is my co-moderator.
My name is Kiza Johnson. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, be ready to have a good time with us this afternoon as we see lovely young girls showcase their talents and raise their voices in commemoration of the Girl Child Day with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have you join us this afternoon as we celebrate as well as commemorate the International Day of the Girl Child. We are Public Health Ambassadors Uganda, a youth-led organization that champions the voices of young people to be able to take ownership of their health. So, why the International Day of the Girl Child, or why the Adolescent Girls' Voices? We do believe that the biggest capacity or the biggest population of people in Uganda are the youth. And with that comes a lot of issues that the youth face. And when you look at the COVID pandemic, it has even widened the gap of those issues. Now, so many issues that include HIV/AIDS, teenage pregnancies, child marriages, and all that, you realize that most of these issues affect the adolescent girls and young women. So that's why we are so focused on adolescent girls, and the International Day of the Girl Child reminds us that as a whole, as a country, we need to come together and support adolescent girls in terms of elevating their voices and addressing their issues. So the Adolescent Girls' Voices is a platform to amplify the voices of the adolescent girls between the age of 10 to 19. And here we're encouraging the adolescent girls to come out to speak out on the different issues that affect them. There are so many issues that affect adolescent girls, and I could mention a few, like teenage pregnancies, like child marriages. When you look at the statistics and when you look at the information from researchers from different entities like UNFPA, you realize that 25% of all girls in Uganda had their first child by their 18th birthday. These are very worrying statistics. And they go on to say that they continue giving birth throughout till their 40s, which has contributed a lot to the increase of the fertility rate of the country. And also, the statistics of the child marriages, they are still worrying. Then we also have things like unpaid labor that affect adolescent girls a lot. So with all, and this afternoon, you are going to hear from these adolescent girls who are going to perform their different pieces. And so that's why FAO came up with this competition. The competition was launched on the 11th of October, and we invited calls from different girls in the age category of 10 to 19 to submit either a poet or a story. And we got a number of creative pieces submitted. And we had an internal committee that assessed the pieces, and at the end of that process, the top 10 finalists were shortlisted and they were announced. So this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to enjoy performances from the top 10 finalists. And then our judges, as well as you, the viewers, will have the opportunity to decide who are the winners. But most importantly, we want to celebrate and also embrace and champion the cause of the adolescent girls, and I hope that together with you, we can make this happen. Thank you so much, and back to you, Alice.
Thank you very much, Johnson. So now with us today here physically, we have 9 beautiful ladies that are going to be showing us what they have brought from the bottom of their souls and from the depths of their communities. They're going to be championing the cause of the girl child on behalf of the multitude of girls out there experiencing different problems in Uganda, in Africa, and in the world as a whole. Yes? So today these ladies are going to not only be speaking about their issues, they're going to be representing all of the girls out there. So ladies, we have 9 ladies here representing you here today. The first I'm going to introduce, we have with us today Anita Muhindo. Now Anita Muhindo is a Christian girl and currently in a senior for vacation, and she's an old girl of Mount St. Mary's College, Namagunga. She's going to be performing here today, and we are going to be very expectant of her performance. Next, we have Gabriela Mukisa, a 19-year-old with a passion for acting, dance, and music. She has always been interested in poetry and the arts in general, and it is for this reason that she's currently here with us today, and she's in her first year pursuing a degree in the performing arts. Next, with us here today again, we have Rebecca Faith, a senior 2 student at Gayaza High School. She loves reading and writing poetry, novels, and stories. She also loves art and fashion, and she really wants to become a lawyer and journalist, plus fashion designer and writer. Next, we have Amanda Othembi. She's a former student of King's College, Budo, and she's looking to pursue a career in law at Makerere University. She's very passionate about God, mental health, and performing arts such as dancing, singing, poetry, and she loves spending time with her friends. Next, we have Kansime Loretta, a poet, philanthropist, believer of Christ, friend, sister, field hockey player. This girl is multi-talented. She loves music, arts, and sports, and she's very passionate about uplifting the youth, because she believes that in uplifting one soul at a time, the whole world can be a better place. Next, we have Omfo earlier this year. She is a Christian, a writer, a poet, debater, leader, and strongly believes in using her writing abilities not only to tell stories, but also to emphasize and spread hope to all of those who care to listen. Lastly, we have Valerie Caroline. Now, Valerie Caroline is interested in music, programming, art and poetry. She's been into programming since 9 years, and then she loves charity events where they go to visit schools, give them learning equipment, teaching advice, and help young kids gain self-confidence. Yes. I said that was the last, but we have other amazing people with us here today. Yes. Not forgetting Mercedes Nyaroth. She's a little dark-skinned woman who loves to inspire people through poetry and music. She loves to walk and can study the environment and advocate for issues like mental health, and she is really, really passionate about giving a second chance to young teenage mothers. Now, the actual last this time is Giramia Manuela. Giramia is a senior for Vakist and a proud Allure from Pakwach. She's passionate about culture, traveling, music, and drama, and poetry. She loves to entertain, and she believes that that is a superpower. Like I said earlier, we are having 9 girls here with us today. We're supposed to be having 10, but unfortunately, one of us, Gladys Gloria, wasn't able to make it because she got caught up with a few personal issues that made her indisposed, so she won't be here with us today. But she too was one of the finalists, the top 10 finalists that made it to this point in this competition that started on 11th October. Yes. So these beautiful ladies aside, we are going to be having a panel of artists. These people have experience in this field. They're going to be here with us, not only judging the beautiful ladies you've just seen here, but they're going to be giving us feedback, constructive feedback for them and for us, the viewers, as well. This is to remind you that as viewers, we're going to be having a Viewer's Choice Award, so we really, really, really value your contributions to this show. We want you to comment on all of our social media pages on which this show is going to be streaming live: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Yes? So, I'm going to be introducing the beautiful panel we have with us here today. I hope you are as excited as I am, because these are ladies of substance, ladies of power, passionate ladies about seeing women develop and advance in our society today. The first judge I'm going to be introducing today, adjudicate I'm going to be introducing today, is a lovely lady called Mukaisire Peace Deborah. This lady is a youth officer at KCCA in the Directorate of Gender Production and Community Services. She is a social worker by training and very, very enthusiastic about working with young people. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mukaisire Peace Deborah, our first judge for today. Our second judge, we have Destiny Gladys. This lady is a poet with EcoMinds Poets, multimedia officer at Uganda Health Communication Alliance, and volunteers as in charge for clubs and chapters at United Nations Association of Uganda. Like I told you, today we are having the full blast. We are having all of these people from these different walks of life, but as you can see from them, they're very talented and very passionate. The last judge I'm going to be introducing for us today is Winnie Akidi Adile. Winnie is passionate to influence change through digital media and has contributed to much of our advocacy work in different communities and among young people with special abilities. These are going to be the 3 judges we are going to be having for our show today. I hope that as we go on, we're going to be viewing all of these people giving us these performances, but as they give us these performances, please pay keen attention to what these ladies have to give us as their feedback, because this feedback is not going to be only for the performers, but also for us, the viewers. So with that said, let me take this beautiful opportunity to remind you to invite your sisters, sengas, kojas, judges, call everyone for this show, because this show is going to be power-packed. It is going to be emotion-filled. It is going to be the event of a lifetime. You don't want anyone in your social circles to miss it. Yes. So right now, as I give you an opportunity to invite your sengas, kojas, neighbors, we are going to be running a short commercial, yes, to give you time to call upon whoever you know wants to be a part of this event, who is basically everyone you know. And as we run this commercial, please make sure you holler at all of your friends. Make sure you tell them. You don't want them to miss out. You don't want to be the only one enjoying this good stuff, right? Yes.
got a gun in her hand, and she keeps one in her man. Baby girl, I know what I did. You ain't gotta run the amount, so run the amount. Baby, I say run the amount. Let me know how you really feel. So run the amount. You know I got a special spot to help you remember me. And every time you leave this spot, you know I get to see. Oh, she's bright like an electric box, so everybody gets to see. Yeah. And every time you leave this spot, you know I get to see. Yeah. But tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. Say tonight you can call my phone. Tonight you can call me all night long. Tonight I represent the guy with the money who live fast, but still, baby, don't die young. So tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. Tonight just go all the way with me, all the way with me. See a different love in the midnight post. Me, I keep on dodging the midnight post. I don't even mind your number two. Tell me what you want, I want it too. But if you wanna go, I understand why. I could never.
Welcome back from that short commercial, and I'm going to now be introducing our first performer for today. The first performance for us today is going to be Nyaroth Mercedes. She's going to be performing a piece entitled Dear Black Me.
Dear Black Me, are you there? Please tell me that you can hear me. Come on, look at me. What do you see? Tell me about my $1 million smile. Say something about my delicate curves. Go ahead. Tell me about my terrifying dark skin overflowing with melanin. You can simply call me the Melanin Queen. By the way, Black Me, your hair is not rough, it's just too curly. And guess what? I like curly. I really do. Dear Black Me, last time I looked into my broken mirror, I saw your round brown eyes. They led me straight into your soul. Then I saw a pure spirit, so young, so free. Dear Black Me, you are the embodiment of beauty. They are only pretending to be blind. Hey, Black Me, I know it's hard being me. I mean, a skinny little girl with nothing but a smile to hold on to. Dear Black Me, never feel discouraged when everybody else calls you a dreamer. Remember what Papa said? They always call us dreamers, but we are the ones who do not sleep. So I believe in you, and I always will. Dear Black Me, you are priceless. You are brave. You are strong. You are a fighter. Dear Black Me, we have a race to run. We must finish it. Just delete the low self-esteem and download courage and faith. Dear Black Me, to be a girl is to love. To be a girl is to learn how to learn. Dear Black Me, do not get caught up in the sophistication of the negativity around you. Make judicious use of your time and never forget to always wear that smile of yours. It really means a lot to me. Dear Black Me, right now, we both have a pen and a smile. So now I know you can see me. I see you too.
Wow, wow, wow. That was a beautiful, touching performance from Nyaroth Mercedes, Dear Black Me. So away from Dear Black Her, We are moving on to our second performance for today. Now, our second performer for today is Ogwal Sweetie Catherine. Ogwal Sweetie Catherine is going to be performing a piece entitled Tales of a Female Soul. Enjoy.
On 19th of March 2004, my mother gave birth to her first and only daughter. Everyone was ecstatic, I tell you. They still believe I can do great things. I hope to be a doctor one day. On 10th October 2002, my dad sought a second wife because I was the fourth girl and he was still expecting a son. I now sell gonja to help my mother fend for my siblings, my sisters. I hope to start a small restaurant one day. On 4th December 2008, my 17-year-old mother, a victim of defilement, died giving birth to me. I now stay at an orphanage because my relatives abandoned me. 4 years ago, I was raped by my uncle. I was forced to drop out of school because I conceived. In my Form 1, I was a victim of body shaming. Everyone laughed, but my scarred esteem is evidence that it wasn't funny. 2 months ago, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Everyone says it will be fine, but I see the fear in their eyes, the uncertainty cropping in. I'm not sure if I will. Last year, not so long ago, I started prostitution as a way to fend for my siblings because there was nothing. I now keep my head low because I'm not proud of what I do, the shame I bear. 6 years ago, I lost my sister because she bled to death during circumcision. At 14, just 14 years old, I was sold off into marriage to save my family from running bankrupt. There was a celebration, everyone was joyful, except I. My heart burst into tears. I was becoming a fourth wife to a man thrice my age. See, I thought they would let me go back to school, but they said the rape, the pregnancy, they said it was my fault. I thought my classmates would stand up for me. I honestly thought my friends would. But they said I was taking the bullying, the ripping of my self-esteem too personally. I honestly hoped that the clan leaders would understand that the circumcision wouldn't make my sister, my best friend, a better female, but still no. I even hoped that my cries, my pleas, and my screams on that day would let them know it wasn't okay, but no, it wasn't enough. I honestly seek redemption constantly from the prostitution. I'm always trying to show that I'm sorry. It's not what I wanted, but everyone keeps judging me. They have no idea what it's like to claw through the streets looking for something to eat, something to get for your siblings who are starving at home, to reach the extent of selling yourself just to have a piece of bread on your plate. They did. But as I was dragged to the man that I am now bound to, it wasn't love that I felt on that day. I honestly hope that my cries, the tantrums I threw, the tears I shed, I hope that it would remind them that I was a child before I was female, that I still had school. But they still did not listen. Can't you hear my voice? Can't you hear this sound? Can't you tell there's a soul behind this girl? Let not these stories just fall on the skin of your ears. Let your mind comprehend and conceive. Let your mind comprehend and conceive the depth of these wounds, the realness of these scars, the freshness of this blood. Let your mind be opened up so that you can see how the thickness of her lens represents how short-sighted her future became when she was forced to conceive before age. Let the eye bags beneath her eyes let you know that she has had sleepless nights, crying, tossing, turning, weeping because she is awoken each and every night, 5,655 days, remembering the night that she was raped. Let the brokenness in her voice, the cracks each time she speaks, remind you that she lost her voice as she was screaming, fighting, trying to tell her circumcisers, don't touch me. Let the smell of her sweat let you know that she has had restless days trying to get something to eat for her family. Let her show you how the scars her husband left every night he came home drunk changed the color of her skin tone. Let the bow in her head, the shyness in her voice, let it remind you that she carries so much low self-esteem, shame, because on a certain day someone carelessly said you're not good or pretty enough. When your mind is finally opened up to this, and you finally understand how deep this is, don't just sit down and sigh. Don't just cry, don't just lament, don't just talk about it, but get up and run. Run and tell them that 16-year-old Mary's bride price, not just Mary, other people too, their bride price is being settled before they finish school. Hurry, tell the cops to turn their sirens on and run after the girl who has just stepped into her assaulter's car. Tell them to go faster before she becomes a victim too. Please tell them that Malika is about to slit her wrists with a broken glass that reflected her imperfections. Tell them that constantly as Susan walks those streets every single day, that 3 shadows are hovering behind her virginity ready to attack. Shout till you lose your voice, scream till their deaf ears hear again. Cry, let your tears crystallize and turn into swords that will pierce their hearts of stone and show them the blood that oozed out of her thighs on that night. Tell them that a girl is crying in the corner because she has no one to turn to. And tell the girl too that we are coming. Tell her it's okay. But you see, if our pleas, once again, our laments and our protests seem not to appease its listeners, tell them it's okay. This time, politely, ethically, tell them it's fine if they don't want to hear. But please don't forget to mention that we are coming. Tell them that as we're told to handle blades, needles, and scalpels in medical schools, we ourselves will stitch the wounds of domestic violence. Tell them that we will bandage and heal the scars, fingerprints he left on her thighs on that night. Tell them that it may appear that we may be weighed down by the books in law school. We will still rise above that. This time we will stand before the jury, not just with a sigh, plea, or cry, but behind our eloquent speech and sternness. We will demand for justice as all the buried court cases are finally put on showcase and the lost voices resurface. Tell them that we flip through psychology textbooks because we are going to come and erase the pain brought about by anxiety and low self-esteem. That as we are taught engineering, this time we're going to lay down the house plans ourselves, the house plans that will turn into structures to contain society's ill-breeded mindsets. We will turn these into places to teach them how to respect a lady. This time we shan't listen to the budget being too small or the female population overgrown. Tell them that together, we're going to rise and we will shatter the cages that contained all the justified injustices. Tell them that we will create with our own hands a safe haven for the female soul to thrive. Thank you.
That was Ogwal Sweetie Catherine bringing the house down. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me take this opportunity to apologize for not telling you at the beginning to put your hanky near you because you're going to cry. yes, you're going to cry. These ladies have a lot of emotion packed behind their words, their talents they're bringing forward today to utilize, to show us what the girl child is going through here in this country, outside there, what they personally have experienced, and what the people they know have experienced. Let me invite the two performers, Nyaroth Mercedes and Ogwal Catherine, for the judges' remarks and feedback. We're going to have Judge Winnie and Judge Destiny commenting on the performances of Nyaroth Mercedes and Ogwal Sweetie Catherine. Judge Winnie. Okay, as the judges prepare their feedback, this is just to remind you that this is the Adolescent Girls Voices Poetry and Storytelling Challenge. This started on 11th October and it has gone through a series of different steps. We had the contestants submitting their work, and now here with us we have 9 finalists. There's supposed to be 10, but one cannot make it here, unfortunately. But we have 9 of them here to show us, to vocalize what they had put on paper. Now, let me hand over back to the judges. I think they're done compiling their feedback. Judge Winnie and Judge Destiny. Let's start with Judge Winnie.
Thank you very much. My remarks will be made in accordance with Ogwal Catherine's performance. So your performance was great. Your tonation is okay. And your facial expression at some point gets lost when you're trying to pass on, like you're turning from a message to sharing out the query, the plight of that person. So you have to work around your facial expression between the two, passing a message and then bringing out that person's resilience. Then your body language is okay, but then I'd really want you to work on the body energy, the energy from the very beginning. You started it at a low, but then towards the end is when your energy came out, your expression started coming out. So I'd also lastly just ask you to work on your stage presence, like that whole floor is yours. Utilize it. Bring the vibe in that person's story out. So just utilize that whole stage because it is yours to tell us that person's story. Otherwise, that's all from me. You did great.
That was Judge Winnie commenting on Ogwal Sweetie Catherine's performance. Now let's have Judge Destiny commenting on Nyaroth Mercedes' performance.
Mercedes, thank you for breaking the ice. I understand being a fast performer, you set the pace for many of your colleagues. From my perspective, first of all, you did well. You did well on shifting your emotions. The cheerful moments, you are really cheerful. The bits of sad moments, it seems you are in between being cheerful and sad. I believe you can take us deeper into that emotion. You did your stage well, and I believe you will do even more better with utilizing all the space as former Judge Winnie gave the remarks. And the only thing I had was, I think, your piece was good, great. It left me hungry because it was a bit brief. Before I knew it, it was done. Well done.
Thank you very much, Judge Destiny. Those were the first 2 performances, and now we're going to go into the next segment of performances. We shall be having 2 performances, then we get feedback from our lovely judges. Now the next segment, beginning with our 3rd performance for today, prepare your hanky, don't say I didn't warn you this time. We are having Rebecca Faith performing a piece entitled The Irony of Protection. Enjoy.
The irony of painful love. the disgust of exposing protection. I'm unclothed, bruised, destroyed to the extent of unrecognition. Who was once an innocent young lady is just now bruised and shattered. We have lost what to pride in, we have found what to defend with. My protector has become my offender. He has stripped me of my female dignity. Oh, the anger that consumes me when he asks me for a cup of tea after he destroyed me. The old have failed to teach the new respect. They have inculcated in them patriarchy, telling them to go hands for our female dignity and innocence. We are being suffocated by the ignorant teaching the ignorant. This ignorance has hurt us so much we want to flee from our own bodies. When we pass by the streets, they hiss and whistle, grab and pull. But I said no. Does my femininity deafen you? Well, my femininity doesn't mean I can't speak. I am gagged, but I will mumble. I will mumble and fumble till the gags fall off. Then I will speak. But if you pretend you can't hear, then I will scream. I will scream until you burst with guilt and give us the justice, equality, and respect we demand for. Thank you.
Rebecca Faith, with the irony of protection, ladies are bringing this house down. They are setting fire to the room. I don't know if you can feel the heat from there. We came with positive vibes, all very cheerful, but ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, you're going to cry. This is a kind reminder that you are going to cry because, wow, these ladies are powerful. The next performance we have, which is our fourth performance for today, is Nakaye Valerie performing I Am a Ugandan Girl. Enjoy.
I am a Ugandan girl, born and raised by another Ugandan girl, waking up every day with dreams big enough for me to dare, just like every other Ugandan girl there. I am a Ugandan girl. I am a Ugandan girl, with lots of tales to tell from my mother, another Ugandan girl, whose education dream was less important to her parents' traditional norm, and her plan to complete O-level by her 16th birthday was halted by that traditional norm, a custom that saw her education dream traded for a cow, goat, sugar, bars of soap, and random older man's name. You see, Mrs. Kakande, my mother, had a dream of becoming a lawyer, so that she becomes a problem solver to many disadvantaged people out there, desperately seeking for that helper, a pillar. But that dream of becoming a lawyer was reduced to a homekeeper, babysitter, Mr. Kakande's cooker. I am a Ugandan girl, excited about my dream of becoming a doctor to help every possible young Ugandan mother struggling for life during child labor safely deliver and experience the joy of child labor. If only my government would deliver on their mandate to ensure that every Ugandan girl dreamer would have a chance to an education and career. That would make her prouder to be a Ugandan girl. I am a Ugandan girl.
That was I Am a Ugandan Girl from a Ugandan Girl, Nakaya Valerie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is to remind you again that we value your opinions about this show. So we're going to be expecting and delighted to see your comments as the show progresses. Please take that minute to comment on the YouTube channel where this show is streaming live, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please leave those comments because we are going to have a Viewer's Choice Award because we have these ladies performing and we have the judges giving us the feedback and compiling results, but we also want to know who you, the viewers, think really brought this house down tonight. These two ladies are going to come back, Nakaya Valerie and Rebecca Faith, for the feedback from the judges. And this time we're going to be having Judge Gladys and Judge Peace giving us comments on these two performances. Let's start with Judge Gladys.
Ladies, girls, well done. Let me give comments on Rebecca's performance. Rebecca, thanks for making us drop almost a tear with you. That was a sounding start with strength and vigor. How I pray that all the girls watching emulate that strength and courage. You were articulate and you displayed your emotions well, varying from the start, and also lifted us up out of that strong start to a lighter mode. On the other hand, I think this table sometimes captures a lot of attention, that when you are starting, your main focus was here, this side, yet you have very many other people, even virtual, so the next time you will be able to interest a wider range of people by looking in different directions and trying to see which people can you can get their attention. Otherwise, well done.
Thank you very much, Judge Gladys. Next, we're going to be having Judge Peace giving us her feedback on the other performance.
Thank you very much. I am a Ugandan girl, raised by another Ugandan girl. Thank you very much for putting this together. It is interesting and very amazing listening to you. I do love the creativity that comes out of this. I love the originality of your piece, the clarity and the imagery that comes out of it is good. However, our stage management is not good. The stage is yours. It's all yours. There was a lot of focus on us, the judges. Even if you do not look at us, we will look at you. We are focusing on you. You are focusing on all of us, okay? So don't limit yourself to this table. Let the audience be your limit. The eye contact is still a little bit wanting. You kept looking down. You kept looking down. I wonder what you're looking for down. The eye contact with the audience is very, very key. The strength of the voice, I think we need to improve a little bit. Give it a little bit of strength. I am a Ugandan girl. Speak like you are a Ugandan girl, okay? So I need a little bit of strength in the voice. The piece was rather short. It would have been a little bit longer. My ears still wanted to hear a little bit more about it. It was amazing listening to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge Peace. Today, like I told you earlier, we're going to be having these beautiful ladies pouring their emotions here on stage, but this is not just a competition. Yes, it is going to be an opportunity for girls to showcase what the problems are they're experiencing in society, and it's also going to be an opportunity for these performers we have today to get feedback live from the judges here today. So they're going to be performing for us They're going to be engaging in this competition, and they're going to be learning as we learn with them and as we enjoy this show. The next segment, we have two other performers. The first performer we're going to be having is Anita Muhindo performing the Sword Bearer. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Anita Muhindo. I'll be performing a poem, The Sword Bearer. But before I can perform, allow me to share a short story that will help you reflect on my piece. I count myself as one of the privileged girls to have seen the daylight of education. On my way from Kasese to Kampala, even way deep in Kasese, I see many of the girls unprivileged. Many married off at 15, breastfeeding at 16, and yet in them lies a potential that can take us to greater heights. So as I recite this poem, let it be a reflection. In fact, it's a reflection of the deep pains that the girls out there go through. So let today all of us stand with these girls in solidarity as we go to greater heights. Thank you. The Sword Bearer. In the bottles, they held our breaths, sneaked us through their shadows into the dark, and plugged our ears from our dream echoes. Society taught us we could not speak. Laughable, right? It said I was so weak to lift a doctor degree upon my head. It threatened if I wore trousers and got under a car to repair it, the ancestors would behead me. They shut out our heroes, reduced our dreams to ashes, and bricked up our mistakes. We built houses of guilt and furnished our bedrooms with shame. They locked out our spirits with baseless stereotypes. They denied the idea we could stand tall and be independent. To them, independence and female never shared a bowl of soup. Sad tight. Pain gripped our lungs as our breaths carried timidity, crippling our dreams. But tonight, when I see the stars, I know it will be a call to cry no more. But to stand up tall, resist the thunderstorms, arrest the lightning of the tongue that has destroyed dreams and flooded potentials. If you ask me who I am a girl. I am a hero, the sword bearer, and I am strong. I am the dream girl, the uncensored hero with indefinable potentials. Through the night I will watch, not to wait around for gossip, but to be a subject to talk about. I'm going to raise up a challenge. I must, because I am a girl and I am strong. The future is female. From the hospitals to the classrooms, our stories will be told. Our stories they must be told. Our trophies will be leveraged to jail the unrealistic expectations of society. I know I can, because I am a girl and I am strong. So as seasons change, I hope hearts walk us through the cold winters to the warm winds of the summer as we make our voices louder. Voices of stone and pillars of inspiration, and that each one will pick up a sword to tear down the curtain of inequality and join in the chorus to the melody in the verse of female strength. Through the storm, my head will be high. My heart will be awake to care for Mother Nature, feed the nation, and dress the continent with peace forever. Because I am the sword bearer. I am a girl and I am strong. Thank you.
You had her, the sword bearer, performing a piece entitled The Sword Bearer. That was Anita Muhindo. And next we are going to have Gabriela Mukisa performing a piece entitled Listen to That.
Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Jambo, mabibi na mabwana. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Now that I've showed off that I can greet in 4 different languages, let me proceed to inform you that I am not fluent in any. Yes, even the one that I've chosen to speak with now, yes, I could use words like introspection or exaltation, or tell you my words are an amalgamation of the experiences I've had trying to communicate. I've been communicating for 19 years, but I haven't always spoken. No, my first language was sound and feeling, and my mom was fluent. My cries were to her a song, and so she taught me her mother tongue. Nalikabwa Kaganda, you people, but people don't believe me. I know it's because of the way I pronounce my words. Pronounce. To proclaim, to announce that my tongue is uncomfortable. They say, just let your tongue be free. Luganda is like a melody. But when I went to school, my ears became adjusted to a different sound. My tongue wrapped around these new words and learned how they taste. It took on this new language, and my second one, it chased. And I hope you're keeping up with me here, because I told you, this communicating thing isn't easy for me. My first language was sound and feeling. My second, Luganda. And along came English, and it filled me with such wonder, for here was a language that made itself known, an expression of status, a symbol of intellect, a rite of passage to those who are grown. English was a way to show people you've reached. And that's why for some, it's a bit hard to teach. This is no shade to my teachers, though. After all, they say English came on a ship with a cross in its hand and a gun by its hip. My father once told me that if a person knows, really knows and understands their mother tongue, it makes it easier to understand things in other languages. But in order to understand, you need to listen. Listen, seeking to understand. Stand firm, held tightly by your roots, rooted, not in the now and then, rooted in the who and when. When I was younger, how my mother would tell me stories. When I was younger, how I loved the stories she told. Stories of old, stories passed down from mom to child, stories laced with my Jaja's warm smile. Stories of hope and stories of chance, stories that were filled with song and dance, and I was moved. And so I moved. I listened with my heart, and I connected to my body. I learned that I did not have to speak to communicate. See, when I was younger, I learned a lesson about language, a lesson that grows as I relearn it each day. I learned to shut up and listen, and I hope to teach the same. Listen to that. Her confident steps as she walks on the stage. Listen to that. The way she speaks, regardless of her age. Listen to that. The sound of her voice when passion runs free. Listen to that. The success of her work when you just let her be. Listen to that. She's not asking you to listen so that you fear her. Listen to that. She's crying out for you to hear her. Listen, listen, listen to that. Forget your ego for a second or two. She's not trying to be greater than you. Listen to that. She's just trying to be heard. Listen. It's really not that hard to listen. Listen with your ears. Listen with your eyes. Listen to her voice, amplified. Listen, because in his eyes we're all equal. There is room for you and for me. He made this world abundant, and he died so we could all be free. So don't chain her to your standards. Do not silence her with your outdated beliefs, because if there's one thing the women in my life have taught me, it's that the world falls silent when a powerful woman speaks.
That was Gabriela Mukisa telling us to listen to that. We are going to have our two performers for this segment, Gabriela Mukisa and Anita Muhindo, come back on stage to receive the feedback from our two judges. And the two judges are going to be commenting or giving us the feedback for these two performers. We're going to be having Judge Peace and Judge Winnie. So let's start with Judge Peace.
Thank you very much. Another set of amazing performances before us tonight. I will be commenting about the sword bearer, Anita Muhindo. You are excellent. It was excellent, I must say. Lost for words, I should say. Expression, very good. Excellent voice command. The interchange and switch in emotions was very good. The display was good. The stage management was good. It was an excellent performance. That's all I can say. Yep.
Thank you very much, Judge Peace. Now let's have Judge Winnie commenting on the other performance by Gabriela Mukisa.
Hey, listen to that, right? We've truly listened, and it was really great. Your performance was really great. And your tonation was okay. I'd really say the energy you gave out, the sassiness that you brought out, like how you just streamlined from this to this was really great. You really did a really marvelous job there. But then, much as you had that energy, and you are commanding our presence, you are commanding us to view you, and that is really great. Then our eyes were just stationed there because we could literally see that you're going to just space to this angle and to this angle, but your energy is great. That could really fill this whole stage. So my only feedback to you is utilize that platform. Otherwise, with everything else, it's great.
Thank you very much, Judge Peace. By the end of this show, all of us might end up being professional performers on stage, because with the amount of constructive feedback we are getting for these people, we are surely also learning something, a thing or two. I think you people need to hear how this show is going from a gentleman. You might think I'm biased by my gender, because I feel this show is very emotional. Let us get to know what Johnson is thinking about the show so far.
Thank you so much, Alice. And thank you to every artist who has performed. We have so far enjoyed 6 top performances. And remember, these are the top 10 finalists. So by them being top 10, all of them are already winners. So we want to thank all the first 6 performances so far. And remember, we have more performances coming up. I also want to thank the judges for the amazing job they are doing so far. But most importantly, I want to thank you guys who are online, streaming live from Zoom, as well as Facebook and YouTube. And remember that we are running a poll. So we are running a poll where we have requested you to vote for your favorite artist or your favorite performance. And the results from this poll are going to declare the viewer's choice, or the winner of the viewer's choice, who will get a gift and a prize. So make sure you vote. The poll is running on Twitter, on Facebook, as well as Zoom, okay? So we have a poll on Twitter, on Facebook, as well as Zoom, and the hashtag we are using is *MyVoice. So do not forget to vote for your favorite artist. I also want to applaud everyone who is online and those guys who have commented. I'm just going to read out a few. comments from people that are streaming live on YouTube. I can see Semarina Query, you've given a shout out to Manuela. And then Loba Pauline, you say these ladies look ravishing, especially Amanda. Thank you so much. Query, you said, wow, Guramia selection of culture alone just proves you got what we need. Thank you so much for keeping there. Just make sure you stay online. I can see Khan Moses, you've given a shout out to Nakae, Valeria. I can see Sarah, you said I vote Nakae, Valeria. I can see Arenite Paul, you say, dear Black Me, what a masterpiece. Thank you so much for keeping there. Kent Giggs, you say, wow, Grammy, what talked about the culture was awesome, so I vote her. Thank you so much. And then I see Anita Radio, as well as Kobusinje May, you are giving a shout out to Anita. So, those are some of the comments, keep them coming. I'll be reading more of your comments later on from Facebook as well, but keep them coming. Thank you so much. And right now, I'm going to take you back to our moderator, Alice, to take us further into the show. And we'll be having a video that is from a research made by Gutmark, by a video about the access of contraceptives among young people. And also shall be having team leader of Public Health Ambassadors Uganda giving a speech, but that will come later because they are still preparing the video. But so far now, we are going to enjoy the next performances. So back to you, Alice. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Johnson. So it seems it's not only the females enjoying this show, even the gentlemen are really having a blast, which is a good thing. So keep those comments coming in for that performer that has really done it for you, for that anything you've seen about this show that has really made your day. Please keep those comments coming. If the moderator is looking good for you, please feel free to also mention it. We welcome those comments and keep voting because the poll is going to be running. Next, we're going to have the other segment for this show where we're going to be having another group of 2 performers who are going to perform for us, and they're going to get feedback from our lovely judges. The 7th performance today is Kansime Loretta, and she's going to be performing Dear God.
Dear God, I haven't cried in a while. Maybe it's because, maybe just it's because there's another girl in a corner shedding an ocean of tears on my behalf. Maybe it's because there's another girl in a dark street having her body mutilated for the pleasure of vultures. Maybe it's because there's another girl in a home whose father's arms she can never call home. Maybe it's because there's another girl in my class. Shanita. She cracks the loudest jokes. She has the widest smile. Oh, her character fills the room to the brim. Father, I've never seen her cry either, but yesterday she was hanging on a tree with her belly exposed for everyone to see. There were two people whose lives had gotten cut short. And in her eye was a golden crust of a tear. Father, I know I never complain. Everything has been good to me. For goodness sake, I'm almost getting my first-class degree and have my family cheering in symphony whenever I take even a step. But Father, at this very moment, there's another girl having her virginity torn to shreds for supper. Her screams are loud and high-pitched. She hopes you can hear her, but you don't make a sound. She grasps around for anything to hold, but you can't even make in her hand appear a gun. Her body, that temple, has been wasted to pieces of rubble that these men lick like ice cream pops on a sunny day. God, this day is certainly not sunny. And neither is it cloudy, nor is it raining. Father, in her world, the earth has just plainly stopped rotating. They don't even know her name. They don't. They don't know her name, Father. They call her useless. As they use her to quench their thirst, they call her finished. When they finish, they call her tight. They call her firm. They call her the one they've been waiting for. She is somewhere in a dark alley street, in a room. She is God knows where. Father, you even know where she is. Do something, Father. Snap your fingers, break their rugged pointy sticks, smash their heads, castrate them, Father. She is helpless. She has her head in her hand after the deed is done and cries till the morning sun kisses her face. But she can't even let the sun see her in this state. She feels demented. They tell her not to abort, that her son could be the next president of the United States. She believes them. They tell her, you are a nuisance now, my dear. Get out. She believes them. They tell her she will amount to nothing. She believes them. Now, my dear, all you have in your hands is broken glass and shattered dreams. She believes them. Father, her glass is neither empty, neither half empty nor half full. Her glass is shattered. And she uses the broken pieces to put back her life together, but the glue of her sanity is weak. She doesn't have a paper and pen right now. But look closely. Look at the stretch marks on her skin. You will see in between them is a story written by her healing scars. Father, I thank you that I have paper, I have a pen, I have a book. I thank you. I thank you that I have read good stories, Yezu wanje, wherever it is. I thank you I have read good books. I thank you that I have read good stories about good books. But Father, I've never read a story quite like hers. Or maybe I have. Or maybe I was born to write it. So Father, I promise, when I write down her story, I'll make sure to let them know that her soul is made of miracles too.
I hope God has heard that prayer from the piece entitled Dear God, from our 7th performance tonight from Kansime Loretta. Because if God hasn't heard, really, we are going to have Kansime Loretta back here, giving God another prayer. The 8th performance for tonight is a beautiful lady, Awan Jeremy Manuela Malkia, performing a piece, Nze Owa Ghetto.
Nze Owa Ghetto. Omusana tekukyayakanga bwe gwali ne munyenye bw'etyo sikyaziraba tejja kugamba nti ennaku ennuma naye ndi munaku ekituufu kiri nti emitima gyakaluba olaba ne mama yafa kyokka yateranga okumpaanangako nti ndi kawala kalungi ate nga ndi wa mugaso nnyo Ebigamba bye bulijjo. Nabiterekanga ku mutima gwange. Mama yateranga okunderako. Awo empewo y'omu ghetto n'eryoka etufuwako mu nviiri zaffe. Ha! Awo obumwenyomwenyo ne bulyoka busaza. Naye abantu baatugambanga nti nno empewo y'ewaffe ewunya ekivuudu eky'ebyennyanja. Naye empewo kye kintu kyokka ekinzijukiza maama wange. Era buli we nfuwako bweti mu bwenyi nsanyuka nnyo. Awo ne ndyoka mmanya tinalinayo nange omuntu yali anzikiririzangamu. Ndi muwala, akadoboozi kange katono, naye endowooza yange nnene. Bampitanga omubbi, naye kituufu kiri nti ku mmere natolangako butoozi. Ne kato kange nako kalyeko. Mazima ddala kokka kensigazza ku nsi. Nze maama waako, ate nze taata waako. Yadde okusoma kwagaana, nze sijja kupowa. Kyonna kye kiri, nze mmanyi nti kijja kuggwa. Gye ndaga ndabayo, ate era ne gye nva mmanyiyo bulungi. Nja kuwangula.
That was Owageto Jeremiah Manuela Malkia giving us her piece, Nze Owageto. Ladies and gentlemen, back from the ghetto, here to the Adolescent Girls Voices Poetry and Storytelling Competition. We are welcoming you back, and we are thanking you for joining us today live on our social media channels, which is YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. This show, this competition has been hosted by Public Health Ambassadors Uganda, and this is where this show is being streamed live on all of their social media pages. Again, kind reminder to keep those comments coming in as we have our two performers come back on stage to receive the feedback from the two judges, Judge Winnie and Judge Gladys. We shall start with Judge Winnie.
I'd really want to say that I think all the performers that are coming after are actually picking up from the remarks you gave earlier on, and we're seeing progress with every performance that's going on. So I'll quickly give my remarks to Kansime Loretta. The suspense in the beginning. Initially, at some point, we thought it was system failure. We thought there was an issue with the system, but we really needed to feel like maybe there's something you're going to hit us back with. Okay? So just work slightly on that, but it was really a great intro. However much that the suspense was too much. Then your tonation, that part where you cry, but God, that pitch. You really need to figure out a way you can really tone it back and like, don't shout, but then just bring out that tonation while like you're demanding God to give you audience and hear you. Great energy, I'll say. I'll really recommend you for that. Your energy was really great. And then I want you to figure out how you can creatively involve us in this plea, this fight with God, how you're pleading with God, because at some point we feel like you're leaving us out. You get that? I know the performance is titled Dear God, but remember, you're performing to a whole audience here. So at some point it's like, Musajagwe, you got up there. But then how do we, the audience here, get filled in to actually pick what you're saying? Because it's not like a battle between you and God, but remember, you're passing the message to us, the audience, and really want to also be filled in and get engaged in this fight of yours between you and God. But that's my remarks to you, but you did great. Stage performance, better.
Thank you very much, Judge Winnie. Next, we are going to be having Judge Gladys commenting to Nze Owageto.
Manuela, with the best or the little Luganda I could, I can say you did well. First of all, you brought the cheekiness of the ghetto life to stage, which was good. From the outfit, actually. Starting from the outfit, that was creative because it needs to match the perspective people have about ghetto life. And I like the fact that you brought into perspective the details, the different issues of what people consider in the ghetto life. You are confident, and I believe you, just as my fellow had said, that the reviews we gave to the earlier performers, people are taking it up, especially on the stage usage. What I think we could work better on is the emotional display. I know there were moments where it was really sad, and that sadness, I didn't feel it much. And also, your voice is amazing, but we can make the intonations better to match your content. Otherwise, well done.
Thank you very much, Judge Gladys, for that feedback. And those were our two performers for this segment. Next, we're going to be having our 9th performance. And this 9th performance is going to be the last finalist we have for today. Because as we told you earlier, if you have just joined us now, we were supposed to have 10 finalists, but the 10th, unfortunately, is indisposed because of a few personal issues, so she couldn't make it. Regardless, we're going to have a good show, and we have a 9th performance to close the performances of the 10 finalists. By now, I'm sure you're like me and you have gained a little experience with this poetry thing from the feedback we're getting from our judges. I've even made up something that I'm prepared to share with you. This is the adolescent girls' voices making loud noises. Yes, feel free to clap for me. Feel free to clap for me. I'm picking something as well. So the 9th performance, which is going to be our last finalist performance, is by Amanda Othembi performing What I Am Told. Please enjoy.
As I wake up, the first thing I do is look into the mirror to see if my face is any clearer. But alas, I am almost brought to tears because before me I see my biggest fears. My pimples and acne scars have simply multiplied. But I gather myself as I am forced to every day to put on an act. I am told that as a young girl I must be the center of attention, but without joining it to myself, do big things like win awards or small things like ask a tall boy to help me pick something from the top of a long shelf. I must be perfect in each and every single way, yet make it seem like it's something I do effortlessly as I go about my day. I must never stray. Stray away from this image that has been created of me, because there is no room whatsoever for mistakes and no room for error. For whatever I do can never be forgotten. I am told that even if he walks by, even if my heart flutters, I cannot try to coax him. I mustn't make the first move, otherwise I will look too desperate. So I resort to another suitor who doesn't suit the image that I imagine for a significant other, because they show me that I am nothing without male validation. What am I if not a figment of attraction? But in the end, either way, I am used and sexualized, and even though I am the victim, I am blamed and criticized. I am told that I should wear makeup, but it must be light and not bold, that fashion knows no weather, so I must strut my outfit even if it is cold. I am told that I must fit into unrealistic beauty standards
created by other insecure people on the internet and Photoshop, that I cannot go above weight X, and if I get there, I must do everything I can to drop. I am told that I must be skinny, but only in the right places. I must be slim, thick, and my curves must leave traces. My stomach flat and skin silky smooth. Yet I just want to live a life where I don't have to worry about the angles and the light for all my pictures and socials, where I can embrace my natural body and cellulite, where stretch marks and scars aren't an abnormality, and people don't have to lie to me about body positivity for formality, so that they can talk and laugh about me behind my back as I walk through the corridor, struggling to become friends with people who can never accept me for who I truly am. Excuses, excuses. I am tired of being told what to do and who to be, of being in a world where I just want to be free to be me. I choose to remain intentional and fearless in pursuit of my purpose in this life of mine as a growing woman. I will no longer be told what I can and cannot do. I refuse to be silenced in whatever form. I will express myself and enjoy my art, for I am just as, if not more capable than, my counterpart. Amanda Othembi with What I Am Told. I'm going to invite Amanda Othembi back on stage to receive the feedback she's going to get from our judge, Judge Gladys, and then after we shall continue with the program. Judge Gladys.
Hello. Before I comment, I would welcome Deborah to comment.
Thank you very much, Amanda. That was an excellent piece. Well, all you girls have done an excellent job today. That was very good. Listening to you, the piece is good, but there seems to be something missing. The emotion is not coming out very well, okay? The expression is good, the demeanor is good, but there is something that is missing to be able to bring it out, to pull it off very, 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 very well. The confidence is certainly very good, I must say. And just as the other judges have said, those of you that have come in after have made very good use of the comments that we gave earlier on. You've tried to use the stage, but you still kept limiting yourself a little bit. By and large, I think you did good. Yeah.
Thank you for that. From me, first of all, well done. I know the pressure that comes with being the last on stage. After seeing all your colleagues perform and the things they have done, well done. The message in your content is clear, is good. I believe you raised the voices of the girls just as your friends did. Adding on to what she said, as much as we could hear your word, your voice was not so forthcoming, and your stage, the stage is yours. You ought to conquer it. You conquer it in the best way you know possible, to get our attention, to make us want to listen to you more and more and more. I think that is it from me. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, our lovely judges. Now, another thing I have learned today, apart from poetry and performing on stage, is poetic accents. My God, my God, my God. These people have accents that make you feel like, for you, your English is from the ghetto, like one of our performers was bringing the ghetto to us. But ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for making this a lovely, lovely afternoon together with you as we shared these emotions, these feelings as we shared the girl child's dreams, hopes, aspirations on this stage today. Let me hand over to Johnson to tell us what he's thinking about this show so far.
Thank you so much, Alice. Amazing, amazing show. Thank you so much to every performer who has invested in their time, their creativity, their energy, and most importantly, their voice to represent the many other girls out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the good job that you've done. And thank you, the judges. Wonderful, wonderful feedback. And just by following the performances, you can see that the feedback from the judges is having a huge impact on each and every performer. And to you, the viewers, we thank you for keeping there and also supporting your fellow artists, as well as supporting the cause. So we still have some performances coming up as guest performances, as well as we still have to get the moment of truth from the judges. But before we do that, I just want, and during this time, the judges are going to be compiling the results. So the judges are going to take a short break to compile the results, and they will reveal to us who are the top 3 winners. But in regards to the 4th winner, who is the viewer's choice, we told you that the viewer's choice is coming from you. You are the ones who is voting the viewer's choice. Now, I can see on Zoom, many of us have already placed in our votes on Zoom, and also I've seen also some votes via YouTube, and you have been sending messages. You have been voting through messages. But I want to tell you that we have a voting plan which has been just launched now. So what is this plan? We wanted to have all the performances completed, and then we have launched a poll. So if you're on Zoom, you can see a poll. We have launched a poll, and what the poll is, there are different names of the artists. All the artist names are there, so you just click on the name of the artist that you want to vote for. So you just click on the name of the artist that you want to vote for, and the poll will just do the maths. We also have this poll running on Twitter, and the hashtag is at PHA Uganda. So you can go to Twitter, hashtag, so the Twitter handle is at PHA Uganda. The Twitter handle is at PHA Uganda on Twitter, and the same poll is there. So you can just click on the artist or the performer that you have enjoyed most and you want to vote for, and then the poll will do the maths. And later on, we shall read the results from the poll. And do not forget the hashtags that we are using. One is my voice. Please so share. You can put a comment on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever, and just put a hashtag my voice. As well as the other hashtag is Foul Cares. Please just use those hashtags as you spread the message. And you can even quote some of the different quotes from the performers and just share it around. So continue voting. We have the polls on Zoom as well as Twitter. Continue voting, and then we shall reveal the results. So we have our guest performer, but I want to take you to Alice, who will take us to the next round. But remember, we still have results coming from the judges as well as results coming from the polls. Thank you once again for keeping online, and we are happy to have you. Back to you, Alice.
Well, 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 doesn't this show get more and more interesting with each passing minute? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are finished having the finalists. They have brought all of the energy on stage. But after the finalists, we have one other special lady who is here to represent the multitudes of girls out there with her voice here today on this stage. This is going to be our guest performer today, and our guest performance is none other than the lovely, beautiful, none other than the lovely, beautiful lady, Patricia Peace Ejang. Enjoy.
Before I start my performance, should never do as a girl is to fall in line. People tell us that you're too loud for a woman. Society says you should not do that. You should be this. And I think we should break free from that bondage, because the people who are telling us this do not exactly understand our experience. They do not know who we are. We can be the only one to understand ourselves and determine how we go about with our lives. Thank you. I was only a little girl when I was taught that good girls are best seen and not heard. I didn't know I was being prepared for a world where random builders and border men would catcall freely, even when I was barely 9 years old. Ever since then, I occasionally feel a pair of hands, rough hands grabbing my butt cheeks, grabbing my body at the city square, and I have no say, because these things happen. Do not be dramatic, you're overreacting, they say. I have a friend, she was 13, her breasts the size of pancakes, when the man she trusted decided to pour semen into her, ripped from her the innocence we strive so much to protect. Now let me tell you, if you didn't know, rape and defilement, it has changed in nature. It is no longer strangers, it's the people we call fathers, brothers, uncles, the friends we meet in circles we seek companionship from. And the sight of a child raising another child has become so normal. So I ask you, what kind of world do we live in? My boyfriend, he calls me sweet. He calls me his cupcake. He calls me an angel. He calls me a goddess on earth, but seconds later he'll be shoving his manhood in my tiny mouth. And I must not complain, because he pays the bills, he buys me a plate of plain chips, and these things he just needs, because boys will be boys and a man is still a man. Mama told me that good girls are best seen and not heard. And I feel that, because as I grow up, it is evident that in every assault case, the officers are quick to ask, what were you wearing? Did you drink something? Why did you provoke him? Did you suggest otherwise? So I ask you, when did we become the gatekeepers of your self-control? An address means pretty and not powerful. You will earn your respect when you become Mrs. Somebody. Well, I have a few questions for you. When do we get to define our own destiny? When do we get to dream outside the preset standards of society? When do we get treated beyond the other gender, the inferior human beings? When do we get to speak and not be branded angry feminists? When exactly will our voices be heard? We like to pretend that the Me Too hashtags on social media has done some good. We sit back, relax, and pretend that the little affirmative actions have equalized grounds, but 1.5 points will not give purge to that girl in the village. 1.5 points will not reduce the rate of teenage pregnancy and childhood marriages. The same points will not protect me from being branded a whore when I say yes, being called too uptight when I say no. But here's what we are going to do. We're going to tear down every stage of oppression, pull down all the chains that hold us in toxic compliance. We are going to build our own halls where we can serve ourselves first, where we can simply be ourselves, where we can be girls and human beings first. Because we need to have these conversations, and we must speak now.
lovely, 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 and powerful. When could we become the gatekeepers of your self-control? You see, I told you, by the time we are done here, the accent is going to be finalized. Those were very powerful words from Patricia Ejang, our guest performer, and right now we're going to go into a short commercial, as we let our judges compile the results. Right now, I don't think any of us envies the judges. They have a very grueling task before them, because every performance we have seen on this show tonight has been beautiful, has been splendid, but they have to make the tough choices. So, as they make those choices, let us be having a break.
But I'm not so good. I got something I just wanna prove. Can you get yourself inside my room? Let me show you something you will appreciate. Oh, let me show you something you might never wanna say no. Let me show you something that will take away your sorrow. Let me show you something. Let me show you some good lo. Let me show you good lo. Let me show you good lo.
Jealous DJ.
Let me call you no dancer. I said we can call you someone. Yeah, you leave me no choice, so very soon I go apply for your demand. And you had that tight dress on when I saw you last night at the club. Even though I had my dark shades on, I was looking at you all night long. I'm in the middle of the street. How did I ever let you leave? Oh no, why did I drink this Hennessy? And I don't know what come over me, and I just want to become body. Don't want to lose it to nobody, no. My body no go free, and I don't know what come over you. As you see me, so I know bad too. I swear to God, you can come back to, you can come back to. Smarting, cause something I've been watching. I might just drunk or something. I'm loving like a monkey. I'm junkie for your love. I must be high or something.
Reading, bounce, let your body move, let the rhythm bounce. Reading, bounce, let your body move, let your rhythm bounce. Reading, bounce. Let me see you bounce to the beat like Jealous DJ.